Hiya guys, it's Will here, back with another video, and today we're looking at 5 things that made my childhood awesome. So kicking off number 5, Power Rangers. Now, if you were like any age above 4 years old in the 90s and you was not watching this programme, then I don't know what to tell you. Your mum needs a slap, your dad needs a slap, somebody needs a slap. This show was about 5, well, I say 5, it was actually 6. 6 teenagers who were like in high school, and they were given the task to defend the Earth from this evil witch called Rita and their like army of evil goons, if you will. And it was just, I was obsessed with this program back in the day. I was obsessed with the characters. I was obsessed with the monsters. I was obsessed with all the cool weapons. I had all of the toys. But it was actually, like, I'm a massive Power Rangers fan to this day. But I still say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers had the best cast, had the best villains, the best designs for the costumes. I always loved the way the originals were based on dinosaurs and their robots used to all join together to make one huge bloody mech. Robots were awesome to me as a kid, so I loved that. And obviously it was dinosaurs as well. But my favourite Megazord was always, Megazord. My favourite Zord was always the Dragon Zord, coming up out of the water like Godzilla. I always thought that was really, really cool. And I still like the Megazord concept to this day. But like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was just the era where everything was so cool. All the different Zords, even when they changed. I know a lot of people's favourite Power Ranger was the Green Ranger. I thought he was really cool. I liked it when he used to give his shield to the other Power Rangers. I always thought, that made things really, really interesting, and it really made some awesome TV at times, like this image of the Red Ranger here. But my favourite Power Ranger, guys, was always a White Ranger. So I've always really liked tigers. So when this one came out, it really resonated with me. And it was Tommy. So I already loved Tommy at that point. Yeah, he had a sword that used to talk and that had a tiger head. Just Power Rangers was absolutely where it was at. Okay, so number 4, guys, it will be Batman the Animated Series. Now, I used to watch this on Sky One at 7:30 before I went to school, and then I would go to school, and obviously at playtime, all I would do was reenact what I'd seen earlier that morning. Right, this show is absolutely stellar. The animation is amazing. The colours that they use for the show was absolutely phenomenal. The voice acting, let me tell you, the cast. You probably already know, but the cast was absolutely phenomenal. You had Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as a Joker, who did an amazing job at that. But just an absolute blinder of a show. I mean, it was like, oh man, it had every villain you want. Like Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Penguin, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, Killer Croc, Man-Bat, just and this is the thing, I know that, the Batman movies were out around this time, but it's really this version of Batman that always resonated with me. Like, when I close my eyes, it's always this version of Batman that I picture. When I think of the Batmobile, it's always this Batmobile that I picture. When I think of the Joker, it's always this Joker with Mark Hamill's voice. Just really was second to none at the time, and it was amazing that they was producing like this kind of TV show for kids. Not that I don't think that adults were probably watching it as well, no doubt. It really was that good, and it also produced some amazing feature-length movies as well. So like Mask of the Phantasm and the Sub-Zero movie, really, really awesome. Okay, guys, so at number 3, we're going to talk about wrestling, specifically the Attitude Era. So, I used to watch Raw and then SmackDown. I watched Raw on a Friday night with my mum, my dad, and my sister. My older sister would get a pizza, and we would just sit down and watch wrestling. And oh my God, guys, still to this day, they don't create wrestlers like they used to. You won't want to fuck with any of these guys. A lot of them were proper nightmare fuel, as well as the matches. You'll probably remember the Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker and Mankind, the Inferno match with Kane and The Undertaker. There was the beer truck with Austin and all of the antics of DX. I used to love The Rock. Charismatic on the mic, and the tag team division to this day isn't as good as it was back then, but it all accumulated with that WrestleMania 17 show. So the card for the matches was absolutely amazing. I can't, to my knowledge, remember a bad match on the card from like The Undertaker vs Triple H, Kane and Raven and Big Show in the Hardcore match, the TLC match with the Dudleys and the Hardys and Edge. Just really, really amazing matches. Still to this day, if I want to go watch a good bit of wrestling, I will stick this pay-per-view on. And it all accumulated with The Rock and Stone Cold selling his soul to Vince McMahon, and taking the belt and doing the dirty on The Rock. And I have fond memories of this era of wrestling, and it's probably why I'm still a wrestling fan today. Okay, guys, so at number 2, we're talking about when Cartoon Network used to air Dragon Ball Z. Now, I'm not a huge fan of anime. Back then, it was a very new concept to me. I think I'd seen Pokemon, but I kind of dismissed it. It is not for me. I do like Pokemon now, but Dragon Ball Z was where it was at. I loved the fighting. I loved the whole theme of adventure with the show. I really liked it in the first season when Goku travelled along Snake Way to meet King Kai. I still think the humour in that first series cannot be matched. It was awesome the way the humans would have to train to fight the Saiyans, and they were just really powerful. And then Vegeta obviously fighting Goku, and Goku using Kaioken the first time, Vegeta turning into a great ape. I have really fond memories of that first series. And I used to remember watching the marathons when Cartoon Network used to do them as well. But really, for me, like, the biggest thing I remember was, like, around the Frieza saga. So when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time, I used to go to my friend's house, and I can't tell you how many times I got in trouble for being home late for me tea, because I would sit there and be like, no, I have to see what happens to Goku, because I honestly didn't think I would catch the episodes otherwise, and then I would miss it. But yeah, just a real huge impact this show had on me, and these things stay with you. I'm still a Dragon Ball Z fan to this day. But at number 1, guys, we are going to talk about the Fox Kids animated shows. So, I remember every night at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, the Fox Kids Marvel shows would come on. I can't remember the order. I think it went something like Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, the Hulk, Iron Man, and then it would show you Spider-Man and X-Men. But I tell you what, guys, this is the first time that we probably actually see some of the lesser known Marvel characters actually team up. For me, anyway, it was the first time I ever see Captain America, Spider-Man, and Iron Man together. Obviously, I got into comics a little bit late. I was a kid when I was watching these shows, but they were really, really amazing. I always really liked the animation on the shows. The Fantastic Four episode where Galactus is there and all the Fantastic Four are fighting Galactus, and he batters them and he absolutely thrashes Thor, and I think in the end it's actually Ghost Rider who ends up beating him. But yeah, Spider-Man. So this show was probably my favourite show as a kid. I really liked Spider-Man. I used to like the way he used to think things through. That really helped me in life. It wasn't quite close to the comics. It had its own little story, but it was still really, really good in its own right. The way they used the villains in this show was absolutely amazing. Hobgoblin featured, and I'm pretty sure that was Mark Hamill doing the voice of Hobgoblin as well. But it was the first time I see characters like Morbius and Blade for the first time, and Black Cat, and it's really one of the things that sent me on my way towards falling in love with the Marvel products. It was always X-Men that came on last, and I don't know, like, it took me a while to get into X-Men, but once I did get into it, wow, was I hooked. This show had a really rich array of characters, as well, heroes and villains. I really liked Gambit. Gambit was one of my favourites. I liked Wolverine, obviously. Everybody likes Wolverine. I thought every character, though, in this version of the show was done right. Not so much like, in the Fox movies, but in the animated show, definitely every character was treated with love and care and just came across really, really well. And it's probably why I'm into comics to this day. Okay, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. That's been my video. I hope you liked it. If you did, like and subscribe.